Welcome back to Three Wide, no cover. Group 1 winning trainer Tony McEvoy. He's trained over 1,000 winners and the boys have got a very, very special treat for you. SD, he's a very good friend of Sportsbet and a great friend of yours. He is a very good friend of Sportsbet and we thank him for his time. Fresh off a treble last Saturday. Tony, welcome.
Thank you, Simon.
Let's rip into your runners. I believe Lacrosse race 4 is coming out, but race 2, number 8, Zoo Shine, this 2-year-old filly, she's had the 3 runs. She led last start and she was very honest once again.
Yeah, really been very good, Simon. She's just drawn awkwardly and has pressed forward and she's had to do a little bit too much early in the race and it's just left her a little bit vulnerable late. So I'm going to ask Baron to be more patient Saturday and I'd like someone else to do all the dogging work and we'll join in late.
Okay, that gate 6 offers you to do that. And Tony, she's trained on. She your last piece of gallop, pretty good for Saturday?
Yeah, really well. She's done a bit this prep, first racing prep, and coming into a 4th run, and the last 2 have been at stakes level. But look, Simon, she's held her form very well at home. She's very honest filly, loves her role in the stable, and I'm very happy with her coming into this race.
Tony, we'll go to the 3-year-old filly, Silent Sovereign. We spoke to you last week and you said you just weren't that happy with her to back up into the South Australian Derby. You now go to the race here over 2,500 metres. Are you much happier with her now?
Yeah, she just had a little bit of a bruised heel and so I wasn't that pleased with it. It wasn't responding quick enough to back her up. So we made the call and she's worked really nicely this week. So I'm happy to take her to the races Saturday.
Have you got, with that slide issue, have you been able to get plenty of work into her, the fact that now you have to go to 2,500 metres with this filly? Are you confident she'll be able to stay that trip with that slight issue you had?
Yeah, I am. She's very fit. What she did, whilst she was a little bit sore in the foot, she walked and swum twice a day, which is a lot of work. But it was just 2 days of that, then back under saddle. So she never missed a day. She was just didn't get ridden for 2 days, but still worked very strongly.
Good intel for the punters there, Tony. Race 7, you've got 3 horses. I'll start with Vinland. Third up here, to my eye, it looks ready. Did run 6th in this race last year to Fastnet Tempest. You just about got him bang on?
Look, he really disappointed me the other day after a very good run first up in Melbourne. He come out of that race a little bit sore in his back, like he was very jarred up in his back. So I've changed his routine around. He's been working up my straight grass track and not turning, and he's been very good. His back settled down really well. He went to Morpheville and had a nice strong gallop last Saturday. And the horse is very well coming into this week. So I'm expecting a good turnaround with this fella.
Positive news there. Shrouded in Miss, well, did the job last start, was on speed. Are you expecting this horse to go forward again, make its own luck? It's obviously a positive around Morpheville. You'd think on Saturday it could be going forward. That horse will do the same?
Yeah, she will. She will. That was a plan last week. She'd just been getting too far back and just clocking off and not really taking part in the races. And so we turned it around the other day and it really did turn her form around. So the tactics will be the same. There looks to be a lot more pace in this race than there was in that last race. The pace only looked moderate in that last start, but she doesn't have to lead, but she will be forward.
And the third one you've got here is Aristocratic Miss. Look, it was a fast run race first up. I thought she finished on really well. Whatever happens Saturday, I think she looks to be in for a really good prep, Tony.
Yeah, I agree. She's on the up, this girl. Very good run the other day. The winner in that race went in and we went out, and I think we gave away about 5 lengths from being next to it before the turn. We straightened up about 5 lengths behind it, and she ran home very powerfully. It was a very, very good run, and she's... gets into this race very well with 53, so I think she's a good each-way chance.
Yeah, very good value there for sure, Tony. The feature is the Goodwood, the Group 1 over 1,200. Champion 4-year-old mare Sunlight. She's third up. and we can forgive her. She is a champion mare. The blinkers go on here, Tony, and obviously we'll talk about your 3-year-old filly Keylong, back to Group 2 winning form last start. But let's talk about Sunlight, shall we, first up? What do you take out of her last start performance?
Horrible. Absolutely horrible. We never saw that coming. It just left us gobsmacked, to be honest. But she was beaten at the half mile. Like, she was gone after 400 metres. Even before Barron wanted to switch over, he was out of tickets. So I don't know. We haven't been able to find a thing wrong with her. So look, I'd forgive her for one bad day. And we got blinkers going on her first time. I would not dismiss her, is what I'd say.
I wouldn't. I would forgive her too, Tony, because sometimes champion racehorses that get stimulated by other thoroughbreds and use running rails like Sunlight does when she's at her brilliant best, was just posted out there. We understand why Baron Vorster was staying out away from that worst going, that first 600 as you gallop into the bend there last start, and she didn't have any company, so she might have just switched off being an older mare and a heavier mare this time. What about her last piece of work leading into this Group 1?
Yeah, well, look, that may be the case. I mean, she does all her work on her own. She's never, ever needed company, this girl. Every time I put her in company, she runs closer to 10 than you want to see. So we never, ever do anything in company with her. But, look, she's worked on her own since that. She's been in Melbourne. She galloped beautifully on the course proper at Flemington last Monday morning and pulled up very fit, very well, and she's just cruised for the rest of the week.
Who'd have thought we'd be getting around $9 for Sunlight over 1,200 metres in a Goodwood Group 1 this year, folks? Well, let's have a look at Keylong now. She was terrific, back to Group 2 winning form, and she was strong, fast-paced, and she finished off really tough. She really pleased you last start, Tony.
She was incredible, Simon. I think, you know that 1,200 at Morpheville, it's a very tough 1,200, and if you're doing it early, you normally always get run over. And for her to over-race like she did in the blinkers and still hold those horses off at the end of 1,200, although albeit narrowly, it was an outstanding performance, and she'll race in a more relaxed fashion in this race.
Tony, we asked the question, was that always a set plan and not to race in the Group 1 Sangster just to get her back to winning form, or was that the plan always and then to back up to the Goodwood?
Look, she was a listed winner going in, and I wanted to make her a group winner. We tried in Sydney. She ran super in Sydney, ran third, and the Group 2 is pretty good on a resume for a well-bred filly. And I thought, why take on Sunlight when you don't have to? And there's plenty of more opportunities for a filly like Keylong to run at the Group 1 level. Okay, she gets 53.5 kilos. Sunlight gets 57 kilos. As part of the Sportsbet family, we know you don't sit on the fence, Tony. Which out of the two wins the Goodwood? Sunlight will win. Keylong couldn't beat Sunlight if Sunlight turns up. It's just no betting for me. Okay.
Just with that, Tony, just because both of these horses have drawn the inside, are you going to, with that gate 1 for Keylong, I would have sort of assumed you'd probably try and be aggressive, but you're suggesting you probably won't try and hold the lead and allow something else to lead for her? And does Sunlight really try and, with those blinkers, do you really go and push hard aggressively to try and dictate this race with Sunlight?
From what I've seen in the blinkers, we won't have to do it. We'll just have to not move on Sunlight, and I'd say she would lead. She flies in these blinkers, so Keylong won't be pressing for the lead. The plan was, we planned to be in the box the other day, and she just overdid it. But I can see Keylong in the box. Sunlight will be forward, either leading or thereabouts. Quite clearly, Sunlight there. Fantastic news there from Tony McEvoy. She's back to her best. She just wins the Goodwood there. Tony, thank you very much for catching up with us. Can you leave us for your best for the weekend for the Sportsbet punters? Look, I've got to go with Sunlight. She's my best mare, and I don't know what happened last time, but we all have off days, and she's done everything right. And normally, first time in blinkers, Simon, horses can find a bit, and when you've got a mare that's won $6.5 million going into blinkers first time, I think we should stay with her.
$9 overs. Sunlight. Tony, as always, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it, and best of luck on the weekend.
Thanks, Simon. All the best.
You're watching 3 Wide No Cover. We'll be back after this break with Around the Country.